Welcome back, everybody, to another Sandy Nanners presentation on JOSBSN, Jacko the Soccer Bro Sports Network. Today, your Sandy Nanners are facing off against Team Eber. We don't know what they actually want to call themselves, but they just go by Eber. Let's see how they can do here. We know absolutely nothing about this squad so far. First point is going to be out. Aubrey sets it up. Great spot for a spike on the other team, and Jack's return on that is not in a good spot for Max to get to. A very quick point there for the Eber team. Serve number 2 coming our way. Another one straight at Aubrey again, and she cannot get a good enough return to pop it up for any of her teammates there. 2-0. Let's see how the Sandy Nanners can respond here after going down early, quick. Third serve. This one goes far. Gavin chooses to leave it. I'm sorry you can't see it on camera there, but that one was inside of the court there. Serve 4. A little bit of a run already. This one goes over to Jack, who sets it up for Max. Max goes over the net with it. The other team messes around with it before it gets sent to Aubrey, who once again is not able to get a good hit on the ball. And it's 4-0 already, just like that. Not the ideal start here for the Sandy Nanners here. Serve 5 coming their way. Will she target Aubrey again like she has so far throughout this game? This was going to be hit over to Gavin. Gavin gets a good return to set up Jada, who goes for Colin, who ends up landing a spike there. Not much down action on that spike, but it does the job regardless. 1-2-4 after that nice little run there by the Eber team. Let's see how the Sandy Nanners can respond here. Finally getting a chance in offense. Jack's serves goes hard into the middle. A well-worked routine there by the Eber team. Jack's return is not very good. Aubrey's able to get there, hits it over to Colin. And it gets sent straight back over to Colin, who gets beat by the net. Build the lead back up to 4 points for Team Eber. The net just being simply better than Colin on that occasion. Serve inbound here. Switching it out for a more underhand style. This one goes over to Jack, who hits it straight over to the other side, but he gets a little bit lucky on it. The spike is not landed, and we have our second victim to the net already in this game. As we see Max now with the serve, he goes very quick with it over to that left-hand side. It is well returned there by the man in the hat, the white hat. There's 2 of them with hats, I should say. This one gets sent over. Gavin blocks it down, and that's going to be a point for the Sandy Nanners there. The first bit of good net play we've seen from this team so far. Gavin being the benefactor of a set straight into where his block was waiting, as that serve from Max is going to be just short. 3-6. 3-point game here early on in this one. So, last time out, I said we go to 21 in favor of just playing more volleyball. We decided to play up until 25 in this one, so don't be surprised when you see the game not ending at 21 as Jack sets it hard over to the other side, but it gets well returned. Max, on his return, manages to find a lucky spot on the other side of the sand there, bringing the lead down to 2 points here as Jada, so far the #1 server for the Sandy Nanners, it must be said, is up for her attempts here. This first one, it's the same thing as she's done all season, but it works 9 times out of 10, even more than that actually, as that set is going to hit the net. Colin is there to recover it. It gets well saved by the Eber team. Max tries to slow the play down, sets it up for the other squad. Aubrey goes to set up, wins to set up Gavin, but it ends up going over the net as Gavin finally gets an attempt at the ball here. Gets it again, and we're just playing tennis now. As Eber team slows it down, sends it over to Jada. Max gets a good recovery on the ball, up to Gavin, who spikes it down. Gavin with 2 nice net plays early on here. Now let's see what Jada can do here with serve 2. That was a well-earned point from the Sandy Nanners. A bit of a tennis game in the middle there, but it ended up being settled down and sent down into the sand by Gavin. Well done there, as that one is not going to be returned. And once again, Jada keeps her serve here. Don't know how she does it, but it works every time. It's a little bit of a mystery for this team, but it's a very good mystery indeed, one that they want to keep happening. As that one gets spiked down to Jack, who sets it up for Gavin. Gavin lands yet another kill in this game. Good work from him so far. 1 block and 2 kills early on as the Sandy Nanners get their first lead of the game, 7-6, after falling down 0-4 early on. A little bit of miscommunication there, and that one once again is going to be into the net and down 8-6. Once Jada is serving, this squad looks like they're at their best. So we gotta figure out what's behind that one, as that serve looks to be just on the line on that left side. Gets well worked by the Eber team. Max sets it up for Aubrey. Goes far side for Colin. Colin does not jump for the ball. Hits it over. This one's going to get sent to Max. Once again, Aubrey goes far for Colin. Colin gets a hit on it. Sends it into the back row. The girl in the red there, there's two of them in the red. That doesn't really help. As Colin slaps it over to Gavin. Gavin, what the heck was that, Max? Oh my, Gavin, watch out. He's trying to take your head off. Max gets a little carried away there, slaps that thing into the net with the might of 1,000 suns. 8-7. Interesting point there. That serve has a little bit of spin on it, makes it a bit tough to deal with. Max ends up sending it over. Gavin goes up for the block, but it gets placed over him. Max does good to backtrack and get there to Gavin, who sets it over, bumps it over, pardon me. Sent far side here. Max dives for it, gets it down. Gavin gets a nice touch on the ball to send it over. Max dives again, and this time he's not able to get there. Max went down, up, right back down again, but not able to hit the ball the second time there. Tie game, 8-8. As it is the man in the black hat served here. He has a nice, strong overhand. As you see there, Colin sends it straight back over and manages to get a point out of that. I don't think he moved his feet whatsoever there, but a point is a point. We will take it regardless here as the Sandy Nanners regain the lead here by 1. Let's see how Colin can work his serve here. Goes for an underhand into that back left corner. Well returned there by the tall man in the white. Sends it over the block by Jack. Jack gets a hand on it again. And Gavin gets beat at the net. He gets beat by the net, I should say, this time, as the net claims its third victim of the game. Colin is flexing on somebody. I don't even know who. As the score is tied up here, 9-9. We are in for a good one. Great serve there in between Jada, Gavin, and Colin there. A well-worked spot as Jada is now going to try to rest in the middle a little bit more here. More like a 2-1-2 or a 3-1-2 formation, I should say, than a 3-0-3, as the Eber team once again start to creep away with this one, taking a 2-point lead here. One of the biggest leads we've seen this game, other than their 4-0 early on in this one. It's been a tight one after those first few points there. Max lays out for it again. Jack gets a good hand to send it over. This one's going to get worked between those two. Gavin goes up for the block, and he's going to get beat by the man in the white shirt there. There's so many of them are wearing the same thing. It's hard for me to commentate when I don't know their names. But Gavin's going to get beat at the net by that one. A well-hit spike by him. Not much Gavin could do there. Regardless, 3 points being the difference now in this one, as the serve is going to go over to Jada in the middle, whose return is not going to be receivable by any of her teammates there. And it's back up to 4 points here. But we've seen the Sandy Nanners come back from this deficit earlier on in the game. Can they do it again here? This one once again targeting Jada. Gets it over to Jack. Kind of does a little goofy slap over and manages to get a point on it. A bit of a miscommunication there between the left front side there. 3 points as Gavin gets his first serves of the game. Let's see what he can do with this one. A hard overhand serve, shallow into the front as Jack gets a spike on it. That receive, pardon me, was straight up right into Jack's hitting zone there, and that is going to drop the lead down to 2 points as Gavin serve again. This time he goes far with it into the back row. It gets set up for the man in the white again, who plays over the block of Jack. Jada gets there. Colin is not able to make the diving attempt to play that one to one of his teammates. A great effort play from him, but it's not going to land to create a 3-point lead once again for Team Eber. Let's see what they can do with this serve. Switching it up for a low underhand serve. This one's going to get played by Colin straight over the net. Over the block once again by Jack. Sent over into the other side. Gets set up for the girl in the white, who sends it hard over to Jada opposite side. Max has a chance. Doesn't have a chance to play the ball. Now gets blocked. Blocked down by Jack. Finally landing a block on that guy in the white shirt there with the curly hair. The attempts have been on all game, but finally put one into the zone where Jack could block it. 12-14 here, 2 points once again being the difference. This one gets sent to the front middle. Once again, the same guy. The Twin Towers go up, and I don't know if they blocked that or if that just hit the net, but regardless, that was the most in sync we've seen them play the whole season. They jumped together, they landed together. No analogies other than that need to be made here in this case. This one's going to get sent straight over there. Colin gets to it, but it's going to be over the net and well away from the in-play area of sand there. And the lead stays at 2 points. It seems to bounce back and forth between 2 and 3 points here in this one. Let's see what she can do with her serve here. Sends it over. Jack cuts in front of Aubrey on that one. Gets the reserve straight over. It gets sent. Aubrey gets double touch. Okay, didn't know this was Rocket League. That double touch was kind of nasty, but it didn't do any good for her teammates. 3 points here being the difference in this one, as the sun is starting to have a nice, beautiful shine behind the scoreboard there. And that one's going to get played and out of bounds for a Sandy Nanner point, 14-16. As we are once again already back at Jack's serve here. Not many consecutive serves being played by anybody from any team whatsoever, other than the first girl on the Eber team and Jada for the Sandy Nanners. This one's going to get sent over by the man in the white. Is that gray? I can't tell. As that one gets sent straight for Max. Great play there by the Nanners. That's exactly what they want to work up there. Jada sending a beautiful set to Max, who has all to do with it still, but does brilliantly, spiking it down there in a spot. That gets hit hard and out of bounds. He put some juice behind that one as that sets up Eber team's #1 server up until this point, the person who started the game off with a 4-0 run for the Eber team here. And with the Sandy Nanners being down 2 points here late on in this one, they cannot afford to lose another 4 point in a row here. This one gets sent to Gavin. Gavin's hands kind of fumble on that one, and it's going to be a point for the Eber team. With this brief little pause in the action, I'd like to ask you guys, if you're watching, if you're enjoying, to please remember to subscribe to the channel. We are very close to 500 subs here, and 500, you know, it's a pretty big milestone for me, especially where I was at a few months ago, as that one gets sent over by Max. Tough spot into the middle, gets well received there by the man in the black hat. Max's spike goes high up in the air, not much of a spike, but a little bit of a decoy hit as it's going to land on the beneficiaries. That doesn't make sense. On the correct side of the net for the Sandy Nanners to gain a point. I'm just trying to say words here. Max switches it up to his underhand serve. And that one's going to get sent over to Colin. Colin does not go up for the block. Jack sends it hard over with the set. That's a little bit of a move that we saw last week when there was the one man on the pickle spears that would set the ball hard over to the other side, more times out of bounds than in, as Jack goes to mirror him there, and that serve flies out of bounds to bring it down once again to a 2-point game. The Sandy Nanners cannot manage to get the lead any closer than this so far, but it is Jada's turn once again to serve here. Let's see if she can put on a little bit of a run like she did last game. That one's going to get over to the front middle. Max sets it up for Aubrey. Aubrey goes for Gavin. Gavin spikes it down. Perfect. Once again, the exact type of play the Sandy Nanners want to be creating in this one to make it a 1-point game. And it's, you know, serve it's still Jada's serve. What can she cook up on this one? Into the left side there. Gets set up. Not very good spikeable for him. Colin's going to get up for this one, send it back to the other side, and not able to recover quick enough to get the return off of his own spike. Point to the Eber team, 18-20 being the score in this one. 5 points left to go for a win for the Eber squad. 7 points left to go for a win for the Sandy Nanners. It is a close one, down to the wire in this game. Let's see what this serve can do here. This one's going to go over to Colin. Colin sends it straight back over. It's going to get set up to the lady in the right on that far side. Goes for the set. Colin gets a hand to it. Max does well to send it up for Gavin, who spikes it down. Well recovered there by Max after that errant hit from Colin, and Gavin still had a lot of work to do to create the point, but he did it nonetheless. Colin serve here, and this one's going to fly into that back left corner. This one's going to get set up once again for the lady in the red, who spikes it a little bit slower than Gavin was anticipating. Gets over his block, and he was not able to recover quick enough to get a good hand onto that ball. As the lead, take a guess, it's 2 points here. It can't stray away from that 2 points, and I apologize, but for the next game or so, we're going to be down to one camera here as Jack does another hard set over to the other side. It goes up for the block here, doesn't get it. Max does well to recover that one, sends it over, and goes to Max again, but it is out of bounds this time. 1 point game. It's a different score. This is crazy. Gavin serve here. Let's see what he can do with his second batch of serves in game one here against the Eber team. This one's going to go straight into the middle. A great spot on that serve. Jada's there to send it up for Max. Max tries to go far with it. Gets well recovered. The Twin Towers go for a block again. Max is there and equal to it to recover. It's still in play here, and it goes down. Well done there by Max to recover quickly after going up for that block and win the point for the Sandy Nanners, as it is a tie game now. 21 all for these two squads at play, and it now, I believe, is an appropriate time to mention the win by 2 stipulations here. If you get to 25, you must win by 2, as that one by Colin goes off the net and down, but not in the playable patch of sand. 1 point now for the Eber squad. We are finally having a nice back and forth game here. Let's see what she can do on her serve here, needing 3 points to win the game. This one gets sent over to Colin. Colin sends it straight back over Jack, not able to make a play on that ball. This one gets hit over. Aubrey does well to get up there. Goes up for the hit once again. Jack blocks it down. That's his second block on him today in game 1 already to tie the game back up at 22 apiece. That's the kind of clutch plays that the Sandy Nanners are needing in crunch time in games like these. 3 points all to take the win here. Let's see what Aubrey can do with this serve. Okay, not quite there. 22-23. We're going to forget about that one and move on to the next play here. If I remember correctly, this man has a nice, hard underhand serve that has proven to be, that type of serve has proven to be a bit of a difficulty here for the Sandy Nanners to deal with. Not necessarily in this game, but in games prior. Yes, a hard underhand serve, I should say, at Gavin. Gavin is not able to get to it quick enough. 1 point here. 1 point is all that Eber squad needs to take a win in game 1 here. Let's see what he can do on his serve. His last serve was lethal. Can he do it again? Same spot once again at Gavin. Max does well to play it off the net and send it over. This one's going to get sent to the man in front. It does. Max does not go up for the block. It gets sent over any block he would have had anyway. Jack sets it up for Max. Max goes up, and he hits it down over the block attempt. It might have been through the block attempt. I couldn't tell from this camera angle, to be sure. I do apologize about the camera situation here. As it is a 2-point, it's not a 2-point game. It's a 3 points from victory here for the Sandy Nanners. Remember, win by 2. As this one's going to get set up for the lady in the white. Max goes up, the block doesn't hit it. It goes off of Max's face, off from Jack's dig. And that right there is an unfortunate way to end game 1 for the Sandy Nanners. But it will be a 23-25 loss here for them as we head into game 2. Let's see what Jack can do with, I believe this is his 3rd batch of serves here. Sticking with the overhand, that one's going to be short and into the net. 1-0 for the Eber team to start off this game here. They're sticking with the same server there who plays it in a spot Aubrey does not get to. And the camera receives a little bit of a bump there. We got to recrop it to make it nice and level again. As they're sticking with their same server here, which I can't say I'd blame them for, considering he won the last game in those few points here. This one's going to go to Aubrey, who does well on that one. Jada sets it up for Colin. Colin sends it, gets well received by the tall man in the white. Max tips it up over the block here. Max goes for the block again. Doesn't get there. Gavin gets a nice hand. Jack gets another one. Colin gets a 3rd one to send it over. Max's block once again is not there, and Aubrey gets beat on it in the back row there from the man in the white shirt. There's a few of them, but you know, the one that made the play on the ball. I mean, you're watching this. You're not exactly listening to it on the radio. It's fine. Gavin's going to receive the serve here. High pop for Jada. Jada sets it up for Max. Max, all he has to do is get a little redirect on it, and he does so perfectly to win the first point here for the Sandy Nanners. This game is once again following a very similar track to the first one, going down 3-0, 4-0, nothing early, and then getting the point for the first time for the Nanners. 1-3 as Max is switching it up to his underhand serve. I think that's here to say. Jack sets it up for Gavin, who sets it down hard into the sand. 2-3. That's a combo play that these Sandy Nanners like to run here. Jack with a direct set off of the serve into Gavin, and it works often for them. Let's see if they can keep finding combinations like that later on. Another good serve from Max there. Those underhand serves have a deceiving... Oh, ouch. Those underhand serves from Max, as I was saying, have a deceiving amount of topspin on them, which makes them quite difficult to deal with, despite their seemingly innocuous appearance. Like, look at that. It spins funkily, and it gets well received, and it's sent over hard towards Aubrey. Aubrey's able to get there. Jack sets it up for Gavin. Once again, Gavin is not able to get that same spike he had before. It is played over. Well recovered there. Aubrey sets it up for Gavin this time. It gets played over. Max is there for it. Jada goes over to Colin. Colin in the middle. Almost gets blocked. Plays it nice up and over. This one gets sent here. Jack up once again for Gavin, and Gavin kills it there. Did she catch that? I think she caught that between her knees. What a catch. I know they lost the point there, but what a catch there by... what color is that? I don't know. I haven't said anything about her this whole game, I don't think. This one's going to get just up over the potential kill attempt there from the man in white to once again be a point for the Sandy Nanners here. Max putting on a bit of a show here, a bit of a clinic. That one's going to be short. Why did I say anything? Commentators cursed there on me. I'm sorry, Max. I apologize there. The lead still stays with the Sandy Nanners, 5-4 here. Let's see how well they can build on that early lead that they've developed in this one, as they're switching up to their one server from last game, and this one's going to be into the net from her. I'm sorry, that was not the one server. My apologies there. They're both wearing red. It's kind of hard to tell them apart from this angle. Jada's serve now, and she goes with an underhand serve once again here. The underhand serves tend to be more dangerous than the overhand in this one. Jada gets not a very good hand on it. Max as well to recover, but it pulls Jack out of position, and Aubrey is left for dead there on that far side in the front row, having to move deep into the back row and just not having the length that a Max player, that a Jack player, that a Cadams player would have to send that thing over the net here, as the lead still stays with the Sandy Nanners, but it is back down to 1 point here. Now with the #1 server, that thing flies over, and it's going to be out of bounds. 7-5. What can Colin do with his serves here? Can he maintain the Sandy Nanners? Well, he's going to maintain the Sandy Nanners lead regardless. He can't lose 2 points there, and that one is nothing doing there from Colin. That one's going to get played right to Jack there. 7-6. As the man with the white shirt, the curly hair, the hitter, like the main hitter for the other team, up to serve. Let's see what they can do with him out of the front row, as Gavin is going to send this over far side. Gavin goes up for the block. It doesn't get sent over to him on that occasion. Aubrey's going to get a play on this one, sets it up for Jack. Jack spikes it down, and it's going to be dead. A little bit of a stretch there to get to that one. We've seen him do that exact same thing earlier on. Not in this game specifically, but in prior games, and completely missed the ball. Lucky to get a hand on that one to win the point here. 8-6. Gavin's serve now. A nice little floater. He runs like Holland to get back into the play. This one's going to send Jada is not able to get a hand on that one. As just as quickly as Gavin gets his serve, he loses it right there. A back and forth game here. It's been between 2 points and 1 point for quite some time now. And let's see if the Sandy Nanners can finally start to pull away from this one. This one's going to get sent to Jada, who gets caught and shallow a little bit. Max does well to recover. Gavin calls Colin off assertively, sends it over. A nice high flying ball. This one has to send over to Max. Max plays the block. It might be the first block we see from him today. It's been a lot of Jack and Gavin about the net so far. Nice to see him finally get a chance to be involved, as Aubrey gets a serve here with the Sandy Nanners up by 2. What can she do with this one? Another underhand serve to the man in the white, the tall man over there. This one's going to get sent over Jack's block into the middle space there. Gavin does not go for it. Colin does, but he doesn't get there in time, as the lead once again is going to shrink down to 1 point in this one. 9-8 lead for the Sandy Nanners. How can they reserve this one? Hit hard overhand to Gavin. Gavin sends that thing flying shallow to the other side. Max goes up for the block once again, and what a block that was. As I was saying earlier, Max finally getting some plays at the net and making full use of them here. 2 blocks in 2 plays there pretty much from Max. 10-8 as Jack is now switching it out to an underhand serve. Those are high flying into the back row there. This one's going to send over to the man in the white shirt and out of bounds. 3 points. It's not 2 points anymore. It's a 3-point lead for the Sandy Nanners. Finally getting some more traction to build off of what they had last time Max was serving. It just almost took them the full rotation. Max goes up for the block. It's not needed. That one's going to be into the net and down there. Max has to flex on him anyway, though, regardless, because that's just what he does. That's the kind of personality he brings to the Sandy Nanners. So he's going to get sent over towards the lady in the red in the middle. Jada is more than equal to it to send it straight back over. This time it's Gavin's to Jada. Once again goes to Max in the middle there. He almost spots the corner there, but he's going to just miss it to bring the lead back down to 3 points here for the Sandy Nanners squad. 12-9 being the tally in this one, as the lady in the gray is going to send that over and out of bounds in a very similar spot to the last play that was out of bounds here in favor of the Sandy Nanners. And what can Max do with his run of serves here? He did very well last time. Can he keep that going? Yes, he can to start off. Bit of a miscommunication there between the lady in red and the man in white on the front lines for the Eber team. 5 points. Biggest lead of the game so far for the Sandy Nanners. Max flashes a cheeky grin at the camera. It's a nice serve there. It gets well recovered by Jack, who sets it up to Gavin. And that one's going to win the point for the Sandy Nanners. Jack in the middle and Gavin on the left has been working so far in this game. Let's see if they can keep that going here, as Jack fumbles the ball there. He manages to catch it in the end. 6 points. 6 points. It doesn't feel like 6 points, but it is a 6-point lead here, as that one's not going to get played over, and it goes to 7 now. Watching this game in commentary, it certainly doesn't feel like the Sandy Nanners would have a 7-point lead here, but they do make that 8. An ace from Max. 17-9. What happened to the Eber team's defense here? It was so solid earlier on today. Now it just seems to have disintegrated. Max sends a great serve into that back corner there. Gets played up for the man in the white. Sends it over to Jack, who gets a good hand on it to tip it to Gavin. And that almost was the point. Collins sends it straight back over. Max finally gets a play on the ball. He hasn't had much to do. Jack from the back row sends it down hard. That one's still in play here. No, it is not. Up in the net. A back row spike here from Jack. Everything going right for the Sandy Nanners right now, as they have double the points of the Eber squad, as Max tries to continue this run of serves here. Another one. Nice over to the left side this time. Not many serves have gone over there. And another point. It's 10 points now. Sandy Nanners are hype here. After that first game, they needed an assertive win like this to tilt the tides back in their favor here, to bring the game at 1 apiece, to potentially still win the week. As this one's going to get sent for Jada. Jada goes far side to Gavin, who spikes it down. And the Sandy Nanners go crazy. That's exactly the kind of point that they need. And in a game like this, where they're absolutely dominating the opponents, those points are huge. Those perfectly well-run plays there. Jada to Gavin. Cross court. Perfection. It's a masterpiece here. It's an absolute clinic on the serves for Max still. This one's going to send Jack to Gavin once again. Sends it down. And that's another point. Absolute clinic, like I said earlier, not just from Max though on the serves, but from the Sandy Nanners as a whole here. Max has put on an absolute show with these serves, and it is 21-9 as it finally has to end at some point. All good runs have to end at some point, either be that by losing the point or by the game ending. Beautifully done though for the Sandy Nanners. What a serve. Oh, that was filthy. Off the net and down. That thing hit the net, died, and followed on the good side of the net for the Eber team. This one's going to get sent to Aubrey. Jack hits it hard. Gavin does well to get a hand on it to slow it down, or else it was going all the way over into the house on the far side of the camera. Jack once again goes up to Gavin. Gavin kills it then and there, as it is still a 2-0 basically lead at this point for the Sandy Nanners, 22-11. Where did this come from? Jada serve here. It's going to be high into the middle there. That's not the middle. It was the middle of the court, but on the right side of it. Jada does well to get it over to Colin. Colin sets it up for Gavin. Gavin gets over the block. He might have gotten a bit of a tip on it, and the point is going to land. 23-11 in this one. Wow. 23-11. Let's see what Jada can do on this one. This one's going to be high and short here. The lady on the right comes all the way over into the middle for that one. Gavin's gonna, he doesn't go to set anybody up on that one, just sent it straight over the net here. The man in the white's gonna get there. Jack gets a good dig to it. Gavin gets a good hand. Colin sends it down. Good defense there from the Sandy Nanners. Jack once again goes over to Aubrey in the middle, who tries to find Colin far side. Nothing doing there. The man in the white has a chance to spike, sets it over instead. Max is there on it. What can Aubrey do to recover this one? Gets it to Gavin. Gavin sends that one not over the net there. He had a lot to do to make that play work, and he doesn't make it happen there. Nothing at fault there, and besides, with the score being 23-12 anyway, those little 1s and 2s points here and there, yeah, that's alright. The Sandy Nanners will be just fine with that. As maybe not so much with that one, as Jada sends it over to Colin. Colin has an errant hit there to kill the point then and there for the Sandy Nanners, but the lead stays at 10 points here. Let's see what the lady in red, the darker red, can do on her serve. Sends it over to Max. Max up to Aubrey. Aubrey up to Gavin, and he kills it there. Once again, another perfect point for the Sandy Nanners. A nice little 1, 2, 3, and that's it. A 3 and out basically, as Colin could end the game here on the serve here. He quick serves it over into the back middle here. Jack does not go up for the block there. He thought about it. Gavin sets it up for Max. Max from the back row, and that one is going to hit the bottom of the net and fall down into the waiting hand of Jack. Nothing doing there. 10 points. Still being the difference here. 1 point. All that is needed for the Sandy Nanners to take this game. Colin hitting a little bit of a jig there in the back row there. You love to see a little bit of showmanship for the camera. Sets it up for Aubrey. Colin is going to manage to get there, and it's going to fly just a little bit out of bounds. 24-15 here. A little bit of friendly banter going on here between your Nanners, as they do only need 1 point here to win the game, but they haven't gotten that 1 point yet. They've taken a little bit of time to get there. Might be a bit of a cause of concern here, but none of the players seem too bothered by it. This one's going to get sent over to Colin. Colin goes over to Gavin. That one's out of frame, and based on the body language of the Sandy Nanners and the fact that we never see the ball again, that one was not even close. That one might have been a little bit out of bounds. 24-16. Once again, another little brief pause in the action to remind you are listening and watching to the Jacko the Soccer Bro Sports Network, JOSBSN, and we here at the team would like to ask you to subscribe to the channel for more Sandy Nanners content, among other things. Keyword being among there. If you see where I'm going with that one, we could be making some Among Us content in the future. That is certainly something in the works, as that point finally is going to land. 25-16. That should be the game. they don't seem to look like they are making their way off the court just yet. 25-16. Game's still going here as Gavin has a chance to serve it here. Watches Hotland run into there again. Look at that. I think that might just be a gym rat thing, a buff guy thing. You know, once you get big enough to a certain size here, you kind of have to run a little bit goofy to account for all the weight that you have on your shoulders. This guy hits shoulders, and he's got that, what's his name? Miguel Ojeda split set every day. No rest days. Jack has a chance to hit this one backward. He gets a little bit of a cheeky pop up over, and that finally, is that the game? Okay, that's the game there. 1-1, the Sandy Nanners take game 2 here and leave it all to play for in game 3. The Sandy Nanners against the Eber squad, as we finally have camera 2 back in action for this one. We've got our technical difficulties sorted out here as we head into game 3 with it all to play for. The Sandy Nanners also with all the momentum. Colin's going to send this one over to Gavin. Gavin goes far side with it. Gets high up, send over to the man in the white with the hat. Goes over to Jack. Jack sets it up for Jada. Jada sets it up for Max. Max sets it over the net. This one's going to get sent over. Max's block is not there. Jada gets a hand to it, but it's not enough of a pop, and it's on the wrong side of the net for Max to make a play on the ball there. That was a one. That's only 1-0. Seems like they've been playing a little bit more than that. 1-0 here for Team Eber. As this serve is going to go over to Jack. Jack's tits. Max does well to get there and wins a point off of that. Max saving the day on that one. A little bit of a rough return there from Jack, but Max does really well to send it over the net here on the other side. 1-1. Ones all around. Max's serve goes. That was Jack's serve, pardon me. Can't really see him that much from here. You know, especially when you got a large figure like the man in the white there in the middle blocking the server here, as the point is going to go to the Sandy Nanners. 2-1. Starting things off well with a nice little lead here. Jack switches it up for an underhand attempt. Not sure if he was going over underhand before. I wasn't really watching. Aubrey is going to send this one up. Gavin calls it off sends it over to the other side. That was going to get spiked down. Gavin is more than equal to it. And a bit of a miscommunication there between Jada and Colin to tie the game up at 2 apiece. This is a high stakes game here. Winner wins the week. Winner takes points home. Well, the loser, since both the Sandy Nanners and Team Eber have won one game apiece, that serve is going to find its way in. And she shows off for the camera a little bit. That was a great serve there. As I was saying, since both teams have won one game so far, whichever team loses will take home 1 point, and I believe whichever team wins will take home with 3 points, and I believe it is 4 points if you win all 3 games here. I really do wish that I could get you guys full standings here from week to week, as that serve is going to fly out of bounds, but that is not within my capabilities here. I do apologize for the inconvenience on that one. You're just going to have to see how the Sandy Nanners perform as the season goes on and make your guesses as to where they are in the standings. This one's going to get sent over by Max. He does well to get there. A little bit of a backtrack on that serve return. Max calls off Jada to get there. Colin sets it up for Jada, and Jada has no chance there. The net will beat her 9 times out of 10, but that's part of the game when you are of Jada's size and stature on the court there. Net plays are not her speciality, if you will, but no worries there. It's not what she's on the squad for anyway. That's what the Colin Adams of the world. That's what the Maxes are for. That's what the Gavins are for. Everybody on this squad has their own certain play style and what works well for them and what doesn't. And we've been playing long enough for you guys to know, as that point is gonna get sent over, but it was in too many hits. 4-4. Tie game here early on in this one, as it is Jada's turn to serve here. Let's see how she can do with this one. Maybe get another run started like in game 1, like Max's game 2 performance. This one's going to get sent over. Jack plays a good dig on it, and I have no idea how he got that much power on a diving dig to send that thing 30 feet over the out-of-bounds line, but he does, and the point is going to go to Team Eber here in this one. 4-5, as that one's going to get sent over to Max. Sets it up for Gavin. Gavin goes over the net with it, sent to the lady in blue. I believe that's blue. It looks different from camera to camera. It's a little bit funky how the colors work. Gavin jumps up for the block, still is able to recover himself to get that spike over. That one's going to get sent over once again. Gavin still on the ball here. Sent over to the man in the white for the spike. Max does well to get there, and Colin is not able to make a recovery on that one. That ball was headed straight for the pole on that side of the court there. You just can't see it on camera, and Colin he would have had a very tough time getting that ball without demolishing his face into the pole there. 2 points being the difference in this one early on, as that serve almost looked like it was going to be an absolute heater, but it is going to curve down into the net and fall just short. 5-6 here as Colin is up to serve. No real runs here from either team so far. It's real back and forth when this one gets set up for the man in the white there, and it's going to get played over Jada. Hit the line and be in. Wow. Perfectly placed spike there, targeting the shortest player in the back there and managing to find the last possible inch of sand to play it in. 5-7 as the man in the white hat goes for his hard underhand serves. Jade is equal to it. Jack does well to get a hand on it, but Aubrey is not able to recover it and send it over. 3 points now. This might be a bit of a run starting here. His serves in game 1 were certainly potent. And that serve is going to be short there. Once again, the commentator's curse striking again. I apologize to him right in front of the camera there. That's on me. 6-8 being the score in this one now. As it is that Gavin? I believe that's Gavin. Gavin's going to send this one over. It's going to get spiked. Not spiked. That one's going to get sent over to the lady on the far side, but she came in for the set regardless. A bit of a miscommunication error there from the Eber team. There's been a few of those from both sides tonight. Definitely something that will likely clear up as the season goes on, but maybe not. Who knows? This one's going to get set up for the man in the white. Plays it over Jack's block. He might have finally figured it out that you can't do that. Except this time, Jack and him go up for a battle at the net, and Jack is going to win that one to tie the game up here for the Sandy Nanners. 8-8. That 3-point lead for the Eber team has evaporated just like that. This one's going to get played over Jack's block, and he's not taking any chances this time. Colin sends it over to that to the lady in the white there. Once again, over the block attempt, and Colin backs out of it there. Oh, that was his ball all day, and he just backed out of it. As the lead goes back to the Eber team here. Let's see how they can recover here. This one's going to get sent over to Colin. Colin sends it straight over the net and out of bounds. 8-10, 2 points. And in a game like this, 2 points is big. It has been back and forth for the last few points or so. For almost the entirety of the game, there's been the odd run here and there, but that's a hard serve, and it's just barely going to find its way out of bounds there. Point to the Sandy Nanners as Aubrey is up to serve here. Let's see what she can do with her set of serves this time. Hopefully, just hopefully, the Sandy Nanners can start to get a little bit of a something cooking here in this one. As Max goes up for the block, but he is not needed there for the play. And the game is tied up once again at 10 apiece here. There have been a lot of 2, 3, 4-point swings in this one. A lot of small little runs here, and then a very quick retaliation from the other squad. The spike is going to get hit over to Gavin, awaiting Gavin, and equal to it Gavin in the back row. And Jada is going to do well to play it over, but that one's going to find itself falling out of bounds here. 10-11, the lead stays with the Eber squad here. I don't believe the Sandy Nanners have had a lead in a few points now, but they have had a tie game very oftenly. Frequently. In case you couldn't tell, guys, English is my first language, so pardon the errors here. This one's going to get sent up. The Twin Towers go for the block once again, and Colin gets caught sleeping in the back row. 10-12, 2 points. And he is very disappointed with that one. You can see it in his face. That's a tough one there. When the Twin Towers go up for the block like that and just kind of leave the back row on their own there, and Colin not equal to the kill attempt from... Was that the man in the black hat that hit that? If it was, that's well hit from him. He's not the tallest fella on the court there by any stretch of the imagination. As once again, a miscommunication error between Gavin and Colin as the lead goes up to 3 now. 10-13 as we are entering the middle stage of this game here. Starting to slip away from the Sandy Nanners, and Eber squad has a very strong server up right here. This one's going to get sent over to Aubrey. Aubrey gets one hand out to it. Gavin gets a hand on it again, but Aubrey is not able to make the play to send it over. That was asking a lot of her to send that one over anyway, being 3-4 feet outside the back of the court, facing the opposite direction of the net, and to send that over. That is a tough play for anybody to make as the point goes here. Let's see how Gavin can do. As this one goes over to Colin. I thought that was Gavin's, pardon me. It gets sent high. Wow, that is in. It went over the pole, which I'm not sure the rules on that one, but I believe that is in. It gets sent over. Jada's there. Max goes for a backwards bump over it. Jack goes for a block. The Twin Towers go once again, and the man finds the spot that Jack vacated to go up for the block there, and Aubrey does not fill it quite quick enough. 5 points is the difference now. The lead is growing for the Eber squad here. The Sandy Nanners have to win a point real quick and get this woman out of the serving rotation, because she is killing them on the serves here. But let's not discount that play after that ball gets sent high and out of bounds to send it up over the pole and stay in. Gavin is going to be there and equal to it. Jack Gets a spike attempt on it. Millie, get out of the way. We're trying to see the game here. 11-15 is the score. Finally, Max and Jack come together to win a point for the Sandy Nanners. That twin tower combination finally kicking in this one. What can Jack do on his serves here? Going back with the underhand approach, sending it far there. It gets hit over the net, and there Gavin is equal to it. Jada sets it up. Max does well to get a hand on it. It's going to find its way inbounds here. Played. Sent out for the man in the black hat, who heads it hard over to Jack. Jada sets it up for Max. Max goes down with it. That one's going to get sent straight back over. Colin goes hard with it, and it gets tipped up over the lady in the red there by the woman in the white. Hard to receive that one. Colin does well to find a bit of an open space there. That was a scramble to be filled there by those two on the right side for the Eber team. This will serve, goes hard into the middle there. Man in the white's going to have another play on the ball. Goes over to Jack. Jack sets it up for Max. Goes over the net anyway. Aubrey does well to get to it. Colin now goes over the net, far side, into the middle. Gets sent up once again for the man in the black cat. He doesn't have a very good spike attempt. Jack tries to set up Max. It's going to go far over. He didn't try at all. I'm just making things up now. As that one's going to hit into the net and down. It's a 2-point game here. The Sandy Nanners responding to that run with a run of their own here. 13-15 as Jack served once again. Let's see how he can do with this one. Sandy Nanners need some quick points here to stay in this one. This one's going to get set up by the lady in the red there and over by the woman in the white. Jack goes for another back row hit, and it's going to fly out of bounds. 13-16. That kind of knee-jerk reaction play is not what the Sandy Nanners need right here. They need calm, composed, build-up play. It's been working so well for them so far when they do it, but they just can't seem to get it together sometimes. 13-16. Underhand serve coming on the way from the man in white. Goes over to Jack. Jack to Jada. Jada to Max. Max is not able to go up for the set for that one, but it is going to fall out of bounds here to be a point for the Sandy Nanners. 14-16, as you heard it there from Jack. Maybe on the court. Not sure if you can hear that or not. Is the score in this one here. Let's see how Max can do on his serve. Sends it hard onto that left side. It gets sent over. Tough return, and she does it. Goes over to Jada. Jada goes up for Colin. Colin manages to get there. Tough one for him to get to, but he does. This one is going to fall into the net. 15-16 here. The Sandy Nanners finally mounting a bit of a comeback here as we are entering the final 10 points of the game here. They need this. They need points like these bad when they can get them. The serve underway from Max. Underhand towards the lady in red in the middle there. Sent over. Jack in the middle. Get to it. Colin gets a good hand on it. And Jada/Gavin are both going to collide at the net on that one. That one was a miss hit from Jack to create the whole commotion down low by the net there. 15-17. It goes back up again to a 2-point game here between these two teams. Very little separating them so far today here. The serve underway. Let's see what can happen here. Overhand serve towards Max in the back row. Max gets a nice bump on it for Colin. Colin goes far side. Tough one for the man in the white to get to, but he does. Sent to the middle. White hat gets there. Jack leaves it. Oh, he thought that was going to go out, but he leaves it, and it wasn't even close to the line. We can't be having these fumbles. As from the Sandy Nanners' point of view, they cannot be having these kinds of fumbles from key moments late in games like this. The lead goes back up 2-3 here. This one's going to get sent. Gavin just takes no chances hitting that one right away. Jack has a chance to get there. Tries to keep it nice and soft, and it gets hit in a tough spot to get to. Set way back over there by the man in the white. Well done by him. Goes up for Colin and Gavin. They both collide on that one. It gets sent over. Gavin goes up for the block. Doesn't get to it. Jack sets it up for Gavin. Gavin far side. Off the net. Still in play here. This one's Colin receives it. Sends it straight back over. Frantic on the court here from Colin. Colin makes it work there, sending it to the man in the white. He was caught napping at the back there. 16-18 here. Wow, what can Jada do with her serves now? They would need a run from her again. She's been performing so far today from her serves. Can she keep it up? This one's going to get sent over to the man in the white. Sends it straight up back over. Max is more than equal to it. Goes up for Colin. It goes over the net. It went for Gavin, I believe. I can't tell sometimes. Colin. Oh, Gavin. I got to calm down here. I'm losing my ability to talk there as Gavin's going to get it spiked down on him. 16-19 here. They look nothing alike. I'm just saying things because I assume when Aubrey hits it, it's going to go to Colin. 16-19, 3-point game here with 6 points in it for the win for the Eber team. Max sends it high. Aubrey does well to relax and tee it up for Gavin to send it over. Sent far side. Gavin goes up and spikes it down. Point still in. Where's that ball going? Where are you going? Wow, the man in the white flung that thing, and that was well spiked down from Gavin. They almost had a good return on it, but nothing doing there. Colin serves now 17-19. The Sandy Nanners need some points here. They need to run from somebody, whoever that may be. They need a hero. They're holding out for a hero as he gets set up for Gavin. Gavin goes up for it, sends it into the back row. Let's see what can happen here. Jack gets a block on it, but it's not enough to send it down. Jada does well to recover after that block there. It gets teed up for the lady in red in that front row. Max is more than equal to it. Aubrey sets it up for Jack. He goes over him. Max once again called into action here. Jack goes for a hard set over to the other side. Finds somebody in the middle there as Aubrey gets a touch on it, but it dies off of her hands. 17-20 now. 17-20. A 3-point game here as we enter in the final 5 points to play for. It is very close in this one. Jada does well to get to that one despite her stature. And that one's going to fall. A little bit of a lapse in defense here from the Eber team, who has been very strong so far in this third game and the first game. Just exclude the second one. They've been good all around tonight. This one's going to get sent hard over. Colin misses it with his hand. He sets it up for Gavin. Jack does well to bump that thing back over. Jack goes up for a block. Gets played over him. Colin gets a good hand on the ball to send it over. And that's going to land out of bounds. 1-point game here. 1-point game. Anything can happen. It is all out of play for here. Who's going to secure the 3 points here? The Sandy Nanners or the Eber team with 1 point in it here. Make that a tie game at 20. It is a tie game at 20 points here with Gavin up to serve. The Sandy Nanners need big stuff from him in this one. What can he do? This one's going to get sent over shallow. And oh, it's going to hit the net and go down. I thought that was going to be shallow over into the middle there, but it's going to hit the net and fall. 20-21. It is close in this one. Colin lunges for it, but Gavin gets there late at the end. I believe that little bit of a miscommunication there is what created that error there on Gavin's return. 20-22 as Jack tells him to calm down in the back row. Just relax and let the play come to you. 2022. The Sandy Nanners cannot afford any more errors here, as this one's going to get sent straight back over from Colin. This one gets sent over to Gavin. Gavin goes up. Jack, he chokes. He chokes it. Oh, he goes for the kill of the century there, but even if he made contact and that was going over the net, it was going all the way onto the roof over there in the background. He can't be overplaying those as Jack gets beat once again on that one. As I'm talking about the Sandy Nanners being big plays from big-time performers, Jack is crumbling under the limelight in this one. 1 point away from victory here for the Eber team as Jada gets beat on the serve, and that's the game. That's how it ends. A 5-point run from the Eber team to seal the victory 25-20. And what was building up to be such a dramatic game ends in a very anticlimactic and disappointing fashion here for the Sandy Nanners as they look disappointed there in that huddle. But there's always next week. They still secured 1 point in this one as they head on into next week's matchup. That's going to be it for this one. See you guys around. Thank you so much for watching.